beloved video game console, and my dad's initials are SS, because he's a fucking Nazi. I'm 27, I'm starting to get older, I've been making some more adult purchases. Like the other day I bought a kitchen scale, and it wasn't for drugs. Just been getting into baking. Who knew I'd still be eyeballing grams of powder? Except now it's just like turmeric, so it's fine. I love to bake, but I hate buying baking equipment. Like to me, a stand mixer on medium high just means I smoke weed before I stand there and mix it with a fork. Part of getting older, at least for me, is I've been trying to improve my relationship with my parents. Because I'm worried I'm getting to the age where our dynamic stops being considered teenage angst and starts being considered elder abuse. It's one of the things I've been working on in therapy. I think it's lame you have to try in therapy for it to work. Like imagine you broke your leg and the doctor just bullshitted with you for an hour and emailed you a worksheet titled Tools for Noticing Your Bones. My therapist is fine. He's weird though. The other day he apologized to me for something he did. Like he was trying to work on himself and I was like, I don't like when they break the fourth wall. Save that for your therapist. But I have learned some stuff. I learned about attachment styles, which is cool. Because now if somebody asks if I'm codependent, I can say, nah, I'm anxious attachment styling. I also found out I'm what you would call emotionally stunted. But I feel like that's a selling point, you know? Like, yo, check out this dude about to do stunts. Like I'm the Evel Knievel of trauma. One thing I use from therapy a lot is this technique from acceptance and commitment therapy, where you take a negative recurring thought and you repeat it to yourself in a silly voice, like from a TV show or a movie. And the goal is to diffuse yourself from the thought. But now I just end up sitting in my living room likes you, no one does. Kill yourself, you should. Can't even do a good Yoda voice. Makes me more depressed. I use this app that tracks your mood. Every day it asks how you are, from awful to good to great. And I had been putting good almost every day, but one day I decided to put great, and the app goes, look at you. And I deleted it, because I don't need that condescension in my life. I got sober and somehow got worse at driving. Not sure how that works. Turns out if I can't drink, I want to drive into oncoming traffic. But I get bad road rage. I have this thing where I always tailgate pickup trucks. I don't respect them, that's just the way it is. I just assume they're bad people. And I know you guys are mad at me, because most of Michigan drives pickup trucks, but I think we can all agree. Most of Michigan are bad people. My middle name is Logan, so my initials are DL, which is ironic, because that's how I prefer my men. If you don't know what that means, your husband probably is. I feel like there's a sense nowadays that you have to look a certain way or live in a certain place to be queer, but I've come to find it really doesn't matter which rest area I suck your dick at. I'm bi, but I had only had sex with guys for a couple years, so I was starting to worry I might just be gay. But then I had sex with somebody who's non-binary, and guess what? That's still gay. I had imposter syndrome about being bi for a long time, which was weird for me, because I'd be like slobbing knob thinking, am I just doing this to fit in? I'm a top, but I know I will try bottoming, because I'm a completionist. Also, when I was in active addiction, I used to stick needles in my arm, and I don't even try getting pegged. Now that just doesn't seem fair to me. A lot of people hear these jokes coming out of this mouth and assume I'm punching down, But I think you'd be surprised at what's been going in this mouth. Actually, I was at the doctor today, and on my summary sheet under problems addressed, it said high-risk bisexual behavior. And I was like, no, I don't know. That makes me seem a lot cooler than I am. I was reading through it, like major depressive disorder, polysubstance use disorder, high-risk bisexual behavior. That's not a doctor's visit. That's an episode of Euphoria. I feel like growing up in American culture, I was so alienated from my body that I almost had to start taking dick. It's like a grounding technique. 5 things I can see, 3 things I can taste, and 1 thing I can fit inside me. But I feel like it goes beyond sexuality. Growing up, I got mixed messages to be both obsessed with and afraid of my body. If you don't know what I mean, you don't think it's weird that men will build cock-shaped rockets to probe the stratosphere, but it's taboo to explore your own asshole? You're telling me my grandpa lived 90 years and never once poked his own prostate? And had the audacity to call himself a scientist? Look, I'm just saying, if men were really as brave and adventurous as they claim to be, they'd realize that their asshole is the final frontier. I'm just sick of men missing opportunities to make things better for everyone because of stubbornness and ego. I don't know, guys, the more I talk about it, the more not fingering your asshole sounds like toxic masculinity. You guys ever thought something's funny and then only straight white dudes laugh and it's like, maybe not. Look, guys, I know these jokes are a lot for some people, but you gotta understand, having gay sex is like doing cocaine. The government spends a lot of money to make you afraid of it, but once you do it, it's kind of like, is that it? Thank you, guys.
You guys look amazing. Not you. No, you all look amazing. As we spend some time together, you might notice that I have a little bit of a radio voice. It's a true story. I worked in radio for a long time. My wife was totally used to the radio voice. I'll come home tonight. Hi, honey. It's 5 minutes after the hour. 75 degrees outside. Light to moderate traffic on the surface streets. And I'm home. Up next, we've got dinner, yoga pants, and an episode of Gilmore Girls on Netflix. And stay tuned, the request lines are open. I got fired from a radio station when I came out of a Def Leppard song and said, now there's a band I'd give my left arm to be in. Some Def Leppard fans over here. Some Def Leppard fans. So, their drummer was in this terrible car accident. He lost his left arm. But he could still drum right-handed, which is amazing. I mean, just keep going. It's incredible. And honestly, there is no one I would rather sit next to on an airplane. Okay. Whole armrest to yourself. Sweet, sweet armrest. I'm an extrovert. Where are my extroverts in the room? Yeah, that's right. All right, let me hear it. No, I'm not going to ask the introverts to do anything. Don't you worry. An extrovert is someone who is energized by social interaction. It means that I like meeting new people and making friends and getting up in front of people and things like that. So that's the extrovert. Now, my wife is an introvert, and an introvert is someone who is terrified of me. Not in a bad way. Just like she's afraid of me, like she's afraid to watch me walk into a room full of people. Kind of like you might be afraid to watch a toddler run straight to the Grand Canyon. It's gonna be okay. Yeah. Lockdown was particularly difficult for me. Most days you could find me laying on the floor, flopping around like a fish on a dock, trying to breathe an unnatural atmosphere. Can we go play with our friends? Whereas my wife, it was easy for her, because on any given day, you can find her sitting quietly, reading, like a psychopath. Oh, yes. Yeah, and when she reads, she doesn't take a pause every few minutes and tell me what she's reading the way I do for her. I mean, how else are we supposed to know what's going on in each other's books? You know, I might be kind of an annoying reader. Maybe that's why nobody wants to sit next to me on the bus. It's called sharing. I'm such an extrovert that when, well, first of all, I hardly ever use the drive-thru. I go into places, you know, like McDonald's or something like that, and before we all had GPS on our phones and stuff, I would stop to ask for directions just to talk to somebody. Now I have GPS on my phone, I still do that. Except then they pull out their GPS. Well, here's what you do. You just go. Yeah, it's not as good. Yeah, think about it. When my wife and I were dating, I was the one who wanted to talk about our feelings. I wanted to define the relationship. I talk a lot. I ask for directions. I want to talk about my feelings. Y'all, I might be a woman. My wife likes to watch sports, doesn't want to pick up after herself. And I have way more shoes than she does. Man. The other day somebody asked me, hey, tell me something that you've never told anyone. As an extrovert, I've never not told anyone anything. If you guys picked up on the radio voice yet, you got a hold of that now? It's kind of nice. My voice changed kind of all of a sudden, right in the middle of an audition for a school musical. I started the audition way up here, and I ended it way down here. The nice thing about that is the rest of the year I could just call the school and say, hello, this is Mr. Atkinson. Ryan won't be in school today. And I sing bass now, which, you know, it's fun, but there's certain songs, I can't sing along with the radio. Like, I'm a big fan of the Police, and I like the song, like, Every Breath You Take, but that gets creepy really fast. I'll be watching you. You don't want me as the chaperone on your kids' school bus trips. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Do not get me started on Christmas songs. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. It's terrifying. Yeah, the other thing that, that's suddenly rude. The other thing that's fun about my voice is when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a ventriloquist. So I got the puppet and I took lessons and everything, and the problem is that my voice does not work at little kids' birthday parties. Hello, children. Would you like to be my friend? All the kids were running away. Stranger danger! The moms were was not okay. I think the thing that I really missed out on, though, with my voice had to have been the movie trailer voiceovers. You remember those? In a world, in a time. Man, I think they could remake the Terminator, and I could do this. Before Siri, before Alexa, before Hey Google. It was always there, always waiting, always listening. Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off. Thank you guys. I'm Brian Atkinson. We're at the top shop in the top of your heart. Thank you. Give it up for Brian B.
Give it up for Brian one more time, everybody. Oh, we get more excited for Brian than we do me. All right. Hurt, you guys, hurt. Happy to be here, though. I like being in places where you can go have more fun in another room than this. This is always... Yeah, if I don't do well, you just go and like, this is fun night. I'm gonna have a good time. It's fun being in a place like this. Usually when I tell jokes, it's at like really crappy dive bars, which is a fun experience. Yeah. Recently I was at one of these bad dive bars and I'm peeing, and then two guys bust in and start sharing the urinal next to me, and they grab out a bag of cocaine and start cutting it up on top of the urinal. Yeah, for the ladies in here that haven't seen on top of a urinal, they're disgusting. They're above dick level, and there's always pubes. How? How is that happening? Who's doing that? So they're just cutting up drugs you put in your nose off of that. Like, this is a weird situation. I gotta leave. And as I'm leaving, I hear him. He's like cutting up the cocaine. He goes, "Hey man, if you don't give me the $90 for this tomorrow, I'm gonna stab you in the neck with this knife." And then before his friend can say anything, he whips around and looks at me. He goes, "Yo man, you're not gonna wash your fucking hands?" We just got out of a pandemic. Have some morals. Slam it. Yeah, the guy doing toilet drugs was like, "You need to figure your life out." You're right, sorry. I grew up poor though, so I have a lot of weird flashbacks when people talk, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, we did that," and everyone's like, "Are you alright?" Just grew up poor. Anybody else poor when they grow up? Or... Okay, I could feel the hamburger helper in this room. I know my people. Do you make your own? Oh God, that's even. She's like, "I don't buy the boxes, that's too fancy. It's macaroni and hamburger meat. It's all it is. I'll make it." No, it's what my dad did that too. Once my parents got divorced, he's like, "I can cook." And it was just hamburger helper, spaghetti, and then macaroni with hamburger. And I was like, "That's cheating, that's hamburger helper twice." 3 times a week. Alright. Now, I grew up poor though. Like, I realized I grew up poor when I found out Olive Garden isn't fancy. So you guys know, I feel like I'm breaking the news to you. It's not, you don't have to wear a button up, you can go any time of the year. You can just go. I don't know when. I don't know what kind of white trash trickery my dad played on me. He's like, "Hey, man, your moment we're past it, alright?" Yeah, I don't know how my parents convinced me that Olive Garden was the shit. When you grow up a Ponderosa family, Olive Garden's a big step up. I see someone in here being like, "Ponderosa, I don't know." You fucking went. We all went, dude. Ponderosa was thriving, and Golden Corral came along, did the same thing but bigger, and they turned the lights on. We're like, I don't want to eat there. I don't eat there if I can see the people that eat there. I grew up poor though. Like, I did have a poor kid memory recently. I remember the time when a little girl asked me, she's like, "Do you want to play house?" I was like, "Little guy," I was like, "Yeah, I like house. Play house." So then immediately after saying yes, she just started grabbing sticks off the ground and pretending to smoke them and just yelling at me. She's like, "Are you not gonna hit me? Have you played house before?" Very confused young man now. The meatloaf I got out. Well, poor was always fun. I had another poor kid memory. I remember on the 4th of July, me and my cousins were shooting bottle rockets at each other, as poor kids do. And you just don't aim for the the eyes, and you know, it's fair game, but I always aim for the eyes, because that's how you fucking win. So I got my cousin right in the cheek, and he started crying real bad, and I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. And he starts running up to my uncle, and uncle, being the good parent he is, steps in, he's like, hey buddy, you alright? No, it's alright, we'll get that sanitized for you. And then just grabbed a bush light and poured it down his face. It's like, I get we don't have health insurance, but I feel like we could have done more. He's like, boy, you got $800 for the doctor? I guess not, do more bush light. Let's just do more bush light. Yeah, I don't have health insurance, so I don't go to the doctor, but I like appreciate the doctor, what they stand for. Yeah, give it up for doctors. Doctors, yeah, I think they're better than what they used to be, because you guys remember what doctors used to be like 200 years ago? Alright, you may not remember, but do you remember what movies, what they looked like 200 years ago? That was just a guy on a horse. That was your doctor. He would come here, he could get your goat and your niece in the same afternoon. It was just... You guys not get how weird that is? A dude would show up to your house with just a leather bag of heroin and a saw. Figure it out, dude. Figure it out. A little bit about me. I have a Captain America tattoo, and people like to make fun of it, which is fair. It's kind of a silly tattoo. I got it when I was can you prove it? It's real. Yeah. I got it when I was 18. I didn't know, man. I was allowed to get a tattoo. That's the reason I got it. That's it. Like people talk about their meanings, they're like, these are my struggles in life. Like, I had $50 and I was in a basement once, so. But the Captain America tattoo, everyone likes to make fun of it, and it is silly. Like when I was getting it, I was 18, and there was just a lot of good Mark Wahlberg movies about America that year. I was fucking hyped. I'm like, you guys see American Sniper? I'm gonna be a troop. I wasn't, but the energy was there. So as I was getting a tattoo, I appreciate you for my service at it, sir. Now as I was getting it, my dad goes like, hey man, you're not gonna like that tattoo in a few years. You're gonna find it silly. I'm like, dude, you're just not a fucking patriot like I am. You don't love America. And he is right, it is silly. But the people who like to make fun of it the most always have like lots of Jesus poems or like crosses or like, oh my God. And I don't get it. Because like both our guys are fake, mine just has cooler movies. Appreciate you, yeah, that's a tough one. I was nervous right through it. I'm like, I wonder how they're gonna feel. Hey, Jesus is in here. All right. You guys are cool, hell yeah, you especially. Nah, just a big Marvel fan, so I got the tattoo. Marvel fans, I think they kind of ruined Marvel for me. Just the same way like Rick and Morty fans have ruined that fucking show. Yes, dude. Yes, there's a new season of it coming out, and I know because no one shuts the fuck up about it. You can't buy like a bong now without there being a pickle on it. I don't need this in my life. Stop. Have fans ruined anything more than Rick and Morty? Well, maybe other Star Wars. Or like Joe Rogan or Christianity. Those are some bad fans. I don't care if it's just for this table, dude. That was funny. I don't care. That's a funny joke. Now we'll go later. How much time do we have left? We'll talk about porn. We'll do that. Do you guys watch porn? I know you watch porn. We all watch it. I had to slow down my porn consumption because I just got so good at it. They got so, like you can watch a porn in HD and then afterwards those two people will go on a podcast and talk about it. That's weird. You shouldn't have that. That's weird. When I watch porn now, I've got to watch the worst porn I can find, honestly. If it wasn't shot in a flip phone, I can't do it, dude. Give me that Motorola Razr, baby. Because when you watch a bad porn, you feel like that dude that peaked in high school watching sports now. Just watching it like, if I had a ball on my shoulder, I could probably do that. I could probably do that. Alright, we'll leave you off with one more. Porn has come a long way though. Like, has anybody seen a Playboy recently? One, yes. Yes. Yeah, I mean, other than him, we don't look at them anymore. You wanna why? Because they're fucking terrible, guys. They're bad. My buddy moves out empty houses and he found a giant box of them and he tried to sell them to me. Trying to sell me still used porn, you guys. Alright, just flipping through dust and cum. I'm like, I'm okay, man, I don't need those. But I did have to look at them, you know, it's vintage. So the ancestors gave it up, I gotta, you know, show my respects. Guys, they don't move, they don't make any noise. The only way I'm gonna Playboy to turn me on is to start ripping out the pages and fucking choking myself with them. It's a new day and age, is all I'm trying to say. Alright, I've been Chase Richard, thank you so much.
I'm a lonely guy. A lonely guy. Yeah, I don't know if there are any single ladies out there trying to find and steal my mom's HBO password. It's Jack, stop giving this out 69. I'm a lonely guy, but you know the old saying, always the bridesmaid, never the butler's husband. Which sucks because have you seen these sexy butlers out here these days? Man, I want to get butler real good, you know what I'm talking about? That's why I don't like billionaires. Not because they have all the money. It's just because they're hogging all the cool, suave, sexy butlers. I just want a butler of my own. And he just like, he has like one of those silver dome trays and says, "Your dinner is served, sir." He opens up the tray, and I'm inside the tray, and the butler and I have each other for dinner. So you guys know what I'm into. Let's get to my other fetishes. As I would like to be crushed to death by Vanessa Carlton's flying piano. Da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm coming. There's a certain, era, ain't that come on, that's real around the nose, everyone else is like, what the fuck, okay. Maybe I just want something simpler. Maybe I just want a pirate lady to peg me with her leg. Alright, this table, explain it to everyone else. It's a little joke about pirate culture. I don't know, that joke's actually a lie. I'm actually not lonely anymore. I somehow got a girlfriend. I don't know. I still like telling my jokes about being lonely though. So what you gonna do? It's cool. I have a type of lady that I like, okay? And that's what my girlfriend falls into demographic-wise is older women who make more money than me. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, fellas, get an older woman who makes more money than you. You can manage it because, I'll tip if you fuck her well, she will buy you ice cream afterwards.